Hi, I'm Donna Burns. I have spent hundreds of hours reading and studying the legislation. I'm very well versed on the Municipal Act, which is the authority or guidelines every municipal council must work within. Each municipality is granted a letters patent from the ground. That's a legal statutory contract that defines them as a separate corporation to work independent of other municipalities, the county, and even the province. You are a shareholder of this corporation, each and every one of you as a taxpayer. Our investments are here in Whitewater. We don't need Queen's Park dictating to us what we should and shouldn't do. I keep hearing comments about grants from the province. First of all, the province is broke, and what money they do have is staying in Toronto for its infrastructure and the Pan Am Games. Secondly, I often hear, if we don't do what the province says, we won't get any grant money. That is blackmail. That is how the province controls the municipality. Legally, the province is obligated to provide every municipality with certain funds. That is written within the legislation. That is law. The province owns 87% of the landmass in Ontario. Private property owns 13%. That information is available on the MNR website. You can check it out yourself. They want to control our 13%, and they are using our municipalities to try and get that control. That includes our properties here in Whitewater as well. We are already seeing that now with government interference dictating their regulations and their restrictions on development. Look at the Endangered Species Act and the Green Energy Act. They want to enact legislation that denies a farmer from cutting hay after August the 1st to save the bobolink. A resident here in Whitewater wasn't allowed to sever some of his land unless he agreed to the MNR condition that there be no site alteration or development on that property between April 15th and August 15th of any given year. How easy is it to put in a swimming pool in the winter months or build a garage in the winter months? They don't want growth and development. That is testament in the recent provincial policy statement within the county official plan. That is why there is government interference choking to death housing and business ventures with their regulations and permits, to the point that businesses already lose money before they even begin. That is why we lost the Husky Travel Center in Cobden. That is why there is no industry in the province. We are a standalone corporation. The Crown would never have granted this township or any other township a letters patent, a legal statutory contract, if the intent was to be under the control of the province. The province is a separate corporation to govern its affairs in a totally separate manner. It's like Walmart, a bigger corporation, but still a separate corporation, trying to run Ronnie Larone's General Store, for example. They do not have the legal authority to dictate to him on how to run his business. We have the legal authority from the Crown to operate independently. We can create our own regulations as long as we operate within the guidelines of the Municipal Act, which is our authority to work under. And we don't break any laws. Nobody is reading the legislation. When you don't understand it, you become dependent on others. Like our unelected consultants telling us what to do, that's how you lose control. That's got to change here in Whitewater Township. I choose to run because I am concerned about the future for all of us and our children. I want to ensure they have a good life. I want to ensure they can afford to live here. And I want to see businesses grow here and attract other businesses here. You need a strong council that will be independent of others, that understands and works within their own legislation and manages the affairs of this corporation, our township, as they would manage their own. What is happening here in Whitewater Township is out of control. Instead of working for the people, this council appears to be working against the people. There's no transparency in our council meetings. Too many closed-door sessions or secret meetings. This council is obliged to the shareholders, you and me, to properly keep us informed on township business. I just learned the other night something for the first time from a member of council at the all candidates meeting in Westmeath. He said we have a $2 million debt. My guess is it's probably twice that amount. We are wasting money on equipment that sits idle 99% of the time. Meanwhile, there are multiple privately owned companies within our own township that have the same equipment and that could do the job required. Part of transparency should be sharing information with us for major expenditures. Were you asked your opinion as a shareholder of this corporation, the need for an excavator, a hi-ho for the roads department, an expenditure of approximately $250,000? Or were you asked your opinion on a crawler loader, a bulldozer with a front end loader attachment for the dump, another expenditure of approximately $278,000? This is major expenses of $500,000 on two pieces of equipment that we as shareholders were never informed of. And what about Aqua, Ontario Clean Water Agency, a contract this council signed with a government agency to control the water of this municipality? Why would they do that when we already had 3 fully qualified township employee operators trained to look after the water treatment facility? Now all of you who are on the municipal water system are forced to pay exorbitant fees for a contractor. Were any of you, again a shareholder, asked your opinion before they went ahead and did this? It seems, from what I understand, this hasty move was made to get rid of one particular employee who questioned the authority of upper management's understanding of the regulations required to run a water treatment facility. To my knowledge, there is nobody on council or management staff that are qualified to make such decisions. We have a building official that required a brand new work truck of his own to take home, which is outside of Whitewater boundaries, so that he didn't have to spend time in the winter cleaning off snow from his personal vehicle, then drive all the way to Cobden to spend time cleaning snow again off a work vehicle before he can begin his day's work. Meanwhile, there was already a brand new truck the township owned, that was used by the water operators that we no longer have, that sits idle today at the back of the municipal office. You look at the cost of gas prices today to run a vehicle, and what about the extra wear and tear on this vehicle to run the extra distance to go to his home? The claim for the need to be allowed to drive a work vehicle to his home was because one time, in all the time he's been here, he had to attend a fire at the request of the fire chief on Finchley Road near Meath Hill after regular work hours. How is this different than our volunteer firefighters who often are at home when a call comes in and then must use their own personal vehicles to attend a fire because there simply is not enough room in the fire trucks for all the men? Another wasted expense was the purchase of a safety glass at the counter of the township office for the protection and security of our township office staff. Who are they supposed to be protected from? When did we suddenly become a threat to our own friends and neighbors that work at our local township office? I fully support municipal roads being properly maintained. However, I question the planning, especially what's been done this year. All summer long, there was little or no road work done by our employees until this past month, just before election time. All of a sudden, there is an urgent need to contract work outside of our own township employees to haul gravel and do specific roads. Our road supervisor saw the need to hire belly dumps from outside contractors working 10-hour days while our own township trucks sat idle in the township yard. Why? Because all of a sudden we have to get this gravel on the roads and the time to do it is short. What roads needed this? Well, for one, Acres Road, approximately 8 kilometers long with maybe 7 houses and 2 hunt camps on it. Very little traffic on this road, but it got 14,000 ton of gravel from a local pit. Today that road is like a highway. They did a super job. Meanwhile, the upper portion of Snake River Line, which is part of Whitewater's responsibility, was scheduled in the budget to be fixed up this year. This is a road of approximately 8.5 kilometers that maybe has 35 houses on it. It's also a road that is used as an emergency detour road to divert traffic when there is a major accident on Highway 17, and there have been plenty in this particular area. But nothing has been done on this road, and it appears now at this late day, nothing will be done. This road is literally falling apart and is in far worse condition than what Acres Road was. What does that say about our priorities when it comes to human safety and the road conditions? Anybody who is serious about assuming a council position to represent you as a shareholder is obligated to read and understand municipal legislation so that they can properly and fairly represent your interests. Without this knowledge, they open the door to be influenced and manipulated by outsiders with specific agendas. The goal should be to make Whitewater Township a prosperous, thriving community that welcomes all kinds of business opportunities and provides us with pride and ownership. On October 27th, please vote for me, Donna Burns, as your member of council to help Whitewater become a thriving and successful municipality. Thank you.